So are you looking to be able to complete campaign upgrades, base icon, Hullet, Zidane, Hernandez, or even Martinelli and Mbappe? So the grind we're going to go with is going to be able to give you all that for very, very little cost. It is going to take a little bit to grind, don't get me wrong. When you're looking at a 4 million coin SBC, you're not going to be able to go from scratch to that in a day. It's naturally not going to happen, but a lot of these big SBCs have got 25, 27 days. You look at the icons, we've got 47 and nearly 60 days to grind them out, plus all of the different upgrades we get every single day. And the big ones to start with, we've been having the daily login every day, we've got the advent calendar every day, the player picks if you're still able to do them, we also have then the 83 times 10. These are all going to be viable options to really grind out this game and hopefully get a lot of fodder on these big end SBCs. For instance, when we look at somebody like a Hullet, for instance, big card, and we've got a lot of requirements to go. We have got 389 rated SBCs, we have 88 rated SBCs with at least 2 team of the weeks, so we're going to need some way to grind these without buying them. Because if you're trying to buy every card, it's going to cost a lot of coins, and I guarantee you're not going to be able to do all of them. So in terms of where do we start with the grind, normally the daily login, the challenge upgrades are going to be number 1 if you're logging in at 6 PM. Then I would go over to the objective tab. If you've got any objectives to do, for instance, we get an 83 times 10. We obviously can get an 83 times 20. We get another one of an 86 times 3 or an 85 times 4. And you get the drift. We're going to get loads of packs, which has 31 days left. So naturally, in 20 days, we should have every single one of these rewards available for us. And I think the last one, an 84 times 20. That's going to be more than enough to grind out at least 1 or 2 squads of the topper end. So naturally, that's going to be there if you are looking at the icons. If then you go into the live, we have the advent calendar like we said, we have the winter champions bonus, Bamba upgrades, daily login upgrades. There is a lot of different objectives that you can do to really start grinding this game out for packs for just playing, if SBCs and grinding the menus isn't your thing. You then have the rewards from rivals, champs, you also have squad battles, but let's say you don't fancy that. If your team's looking like this, then I have the place for you. Head over to U7Buy for all your coin needs. They're cheap, fast, and reliable, but make sure to use JT11 at the checkout for 6% off all of your coin orders. A quicker way to grind out this game rather than waiting every week for a champs rewards to maybe not get anything, or obviously doing rivals. And to be honest, rivals, it's not really worth it anymore in my opinion. It's been very a long time since I've managed to get absolutely anything. So I would suggest keeping your favourites clear. So we have got some of the most important ones in there. If I get rid of Hernandez, I'm currently doing Zidane, drip feeding Zidane as it would be. And these are what I'm going to be utilising to be able to grind out as much content as much as I can. So we've got everything in there. Let's have a look. So the first things first, I have got them all sorted, so don't you worry. We have the Premium Mixed League upgrade. This has now got a huge overhaul, and it may only be one thing that's changed, but it is absolutely massive. So we have had the introduction of the Bundesliga Serie A and the La Liga and Prem Plus, so you can utilize both of them at the same time. So this is huge. It may not seem that way, but being able to use 2 different leagues, because you have to have one from each team, so for instance 11 Prem players from 11 of the teams out of the 20, now we don't have to do that. We can have half easily. So this is an easy grind beyond belief compared to what we were used to. Yes, the packs are not necessarily massive to give out every time, but the whole point are chances and odds of just doing this loads. So I have finished them all. If you want to pause it to see the team I've used, I tend to go with as little to the requirement as possible. When it comes to the Lib and Sud, I try and just go with what I've got personally. I normally will only buy a maximum of 2 players. So for instance, Cavani 79, and there is another one from River Plate who is also 79 as well. I want to say his name is Fernandez. Them 2 are perfect for the rating. But then we have the Ligue 1 or Eredivisie now has changed from a 1 club. So for instance, you can only have Monaco players. You have to have 11 of them. We now have a minimum of 6, and then the rest can be whatever they want. So for instance, for this one, we have used 6 Monaco players, and then used as many of the other teams as possible. What I do for that is I predominantly just go through the league, see who I've got the most of, and then what I will do with the other half is try and find teams that I've got the least of. So for instance, 1 or 2 in the club, I will then utilize them, and we can keep grinding round. As simple as that. It is done. Took me 4 minutes, 3 minutes to put the squads together, and I can go back round with it. With the packs, we have the Jumbo Gold Pack, we have the Small Prime Gold Players Pack. They are going to be sold. Everything gone, everything sold. Then we have the Small Rare Gold, we have the Prime Electrum. These are going to be, on the other hand, where we predominantly have to just put these back into upgrades. So we have 2 different upgrades out at the moment, which is a perfect grind beyond belief. We have the 80 plus player pick, we have the Winter Wildcards upgrade. So the Winter Wildcard is going to give us another objective. We have 31 days to get them done. We have 150 technically to do, and I would utilize anything that is not League SBC. So now I wouldn't use any Ligue 1, any Eredivisie, any Serie A, any Bundesliga, Prem, La Liga, or Southern Lib, meaning any of the female leagues, any of MLS, Turkey, Portuguese, Argentinian, Swiss, Saudi, any of them can go into this, because I'm not going to use them anywhere else other than marquee matchups, but it's another ball game. That really doesn't take too much, and it predominantly makes the profit back. You will get a free gold rare pack technically back from it each time, and every time you hit a milestone of 10, you tend to get a pack as well. With the player pick, if you don't fancy doing that and you don't really want to grind out 11, maybe you've only got 6, this is going to be another one. Exactly the same theory. Don't use any League SBC. You've got to have 1 rare, which is pretty easy anyway, and you get yourself an 80 plus pick, which I think is a 1 of 3. Big fan of 1 of 3s, hate 1 of 2s. So I've got 2 set up to see what we get. We're going to get an 86, which is always perfect. It's annoying because I'm not going to take him purely for the video standpoint. And the next point we have got an 82. So not terrible. To be honest, it's probably made the money back if I was to choose the 86. We could have then grinded him into an 83 player pick, which obviously you've got to have an 85 or an 80 and 2 84s. That's going to be great for the requirements for the icons and obviously everything else as well. We then also have the premium bronze upgrade. So this is if you are looking at the lower tier of any of the grinds. So for instance, this is going to be perfect for the daily gold. This is what you need to do every day. 3 of them, get them done every single day for the next 26 days. It is 3 gold cards from just bronze and silver players. All you've got to give in is 11 bronze and 11 silver. No rare requirement, and it is easy as that. You do get a small silver player back as well, and also a bronze pack. So you are almost getting half back at the same time. You get then gold players every single day, 33 of them. That is the easiest grind known to man, and they basically do it because they know that you're not going to do it every day, but that's going to be vital for getting golds back into your club every single day for just bronze and silvers. It's so easy. So when we go into this, so for instance, if we was looking at the 3 gold rare, if we're grinding round, we potentially could get a little walkout. We could get something that could be in more SBCs. Minyan, I'm going to say, I don't know what rating he is, but I'm pretty sure 81. So again, with this pack, English 2 can go into an upgrade, and then we've got English and La Liga. Perfect for the SBC. So that again is going to go back round into the SBC. We then have these packs from the League SBC itself. So for instance, for the tradable packs, we're going to be selling everything. So is that a... Oh, it's just a common. Thought it might have been a team of the week, which would have been perfect for this. So for instance, for this, all of these can go. Hunter and Shadows might be worth holding on to and selling when they're 5k. Personally, that is good experience. You don't realize how many you do get in the end. And then everybody else, I will have a look at the price. Maybe not even look too much. If you kind of get the gist, then you can kind of know what the market's suddenly at. Maybe you look at about 450 for most. If you see, for instance, Ligue 1, that's going to be always a nice one potentially, but because they've changed it, it is dropping their price massively. You might find some teams that were good for having the 11 might be a little bit more in price, but predominantly from what I've seen, La Liga and Eredivisie now, because you can use bronze, silvers, golds, have dropped down. We get 1.1k there. We got about, say, 4k, I'd say 4 to 5k from the players, and then we have the small prime gold players. If you do get lucky with a team of the week, a walkout, Robertson, I'm pretty sure, that's nice. Eddie Double, Nah, I was going to say that'd have been too much. That's going to be great either for keeping him if you really want fodder and you're okay with coins. We got an 84 as well. So for instance, we've got him at say 7k. You can hold on to him and obviously put him into a SBC later on down the line. Or you can obviously make the profit from him now and almost just do the SBC again. So I'm just checking what the SBC is actually coming in at. We then have the untradeable, so this is going to be perfect for the grind back round. That's going to be a team in a week. Of course it is. Oh, I thought I don't know why I thought Cancelo. But for instance, the Premium League SBC is coming in at 15,500 coins from scratch. Technically, Robertson in that 84 is 3/4 of the value. Add that Jumbo Gold Pack, that's the whole SBC paid for already. This 83 as well, if we got him tradable, is going to be massive because that's 35. If you get a team in a week, which is very likely still, you then go and pay for double the requirement back. So all of these are going to be grinded back around every single time. If you don't want to grind every card, I get it. Sometimes you want to discard one. But I would suggest if you are running on a low gold club right now, then try and put everybody in as much as possible. The aim is to get the cards back, get as much coins back, and also get some fodder along the way. It is as simple as that when it comes to the League SBC, and it's what everybody's been doing for absolutely years. It's not a grind that is kept secret. It is slightly boring. I must admit, I quite like opening the packs. I think this method, compared to doing... Is that going to be Mbappe, imagine? Oh, no, it can't be. Of course it isn't. It's going to be Ben Sweater. Mbappe is a inform left wing at the minute. So 83 again. That's going to be great for any of the SBCs. What you'd normally do is put them back in, obviously, and then you'd keep going round and round and round. So when you've finished all of that, we can then kind of go with the damages, see what sort of coins we got, see what we've got in terms of the club again. If we've got, say, a duplicate 86, like for instance, we chose the Trent, we could then see what SBCs am I doing. So for instance, for Zidane, I'm like, okay, I need an 88 rated team. He doesn't quite fit in that. I've got an 86. I did get a team in a week. Would it work in that one? Obviously, I've got an 85 one there. So Trent and that inform could go hand in hand. And you kind of go like that. What I would suggest when doing SBCs with the League SBC is making sure that you get untradeable dupes. Because, for instance, say now, Trent is not a duplicate, neither is the inform. I go and put all of them into an SBC. I'm down to a few 84s and a few 83s. Then I get an 87 duplicate. One that I've got who we got? Lucy Bronze. I've got one Lucy Bronze in the club. No more 87s, no more 88s. Now I've got the duplicate. I'm like, okay, I haven't got enough. I'm either going to have to discard, use my recovery, or I'm just going to have to use her in something else that's not worth it anymore. For instance, a team in a week pick. It could be an extra bonus there, but it's just going to be wasteful fodder later on down the line. If I'm trying to go for one of these bigger SBCs, it's good to do it when you get that duplicate. It's just an easy method to do. When it comes to all the challenges, marquee matchups, women's marquee matchups, daily tradable pack, sell everything. Anything tradable, get it gone. Because we are trying to grind out as much untradable, because that is what EA are going to throw at you. You want to take any advantage of any tradable stuff you do get. So for instance, if you are doing players, for instance Mbappe, if we manage to finish the 90 rated SBC, we get a rare player pack that is tradable. Every pack is tradable. You can get something big from it. It's very unlikely because a lot of the time it just doesn't work like that. But there has been cases where people have got an Mbappe from finishing an Mbappe. That is a tradable Mbappe and you can make coins off it. Same with any other player. If we look at Kane, even in a small prime gold players pack, there is a chance. You get a walkout, it adds an extra 10k off his value. That is the best way to grind it out. And the more players you do, the more players that you, or the more packs you're going to get to potentially get upgrades. It's a perfect hand-in-hand method. It is literally a simple grind of everything. You start with, for instance, the premium bronze and silvers for the daily gold. You then move up to the premium mixed league SBC. Any fodder then goes trickling down to the 80 plus player pick, the winter wildcard crafting. Then you can go into either any of these upgrades. You go to the 83 times 10. You go to the 85 player pick, then into players, and it just keeps revolving. Obviously, objectives and playing the game is naturally going to be a part of it, so you should get some cards there. And also, there is going to be 10 and 30 coin packs at the moment still available if you want to grind them out as well, and also the preview packs as an extra pack each day. That's going to be the grind. Let me know if it helped, and if you need anything else clearing up, leave it down below. Peace.